Hey everyone, I'd like to talk a little bit about percussion. Now, percussion really has the ability to change the overall sound of a mix because of its wide-ranging tonalities that percussion can provide. Now, in this mix, there's a good amount of live percussion tracks. As you can see here, there's about 12 different percussion tracks, as you can see when I highlight them all. Most of them are very light-sounding percussion. What makes it difficult is they all have kind of the same tonality. So here is how I set this up. I made a percussion master right there and bus those individual percussion tracks using a bus to the percussion master. Inserted some processing on the master. Here's a multi-band compressor that splits out to 4 different bands of compression. You can compress different frequency bands. Great for percussion. Next one is one of my favorites, the SSL channel plugin, adding a tiny bit of high end. There is also a VCA master that I set up for the percussion. VCAs are a very powerful tool when it comes to mixing. It enables you to have a master for the percussion, but still have the ability to go in to the individual tracks, like here, and change the levels. I also have set up a dedicated percussion reverb that would give the percussion more clarity and separation in the mix. Most of the time, percussion reverbs are a longer plate type hall setting with a running time of usually around 3 seconds, with a bit of high-end roll-off on the reverb. Let's check out a bit of the track with the percussion. Here's a cajon, kind of a heavy-sounding shaker, heavier shaker. Some ankle beads. Smaller shaker. A guiro. Let me move up to the tambourine. There is some crickets in the front. And a triangle. So as you can see, there's a lot of high-end information going on. But when I play it in the track, it all becomes cohesive and part of the whole picture. So as you can see, it works really well in the track. Individual processing going on each sound, usually just a very simple one-band compressor, like this one from Mac DSP, the CB1. Here on the Cabasa, I have the SSL channel strip that consists of a EQ and a compressor. It's really just a little bit of compression, not really any EQ. And probably another compressor on the guira. So don't be afraid to process tracks individually, as well as the master aux for all the percussion. When you have this many percussion tracks in a mix with kind of the same timbre per se, the panning becomes really critical in the soundstage with multiple percussion tracks. So I usually spread them out pretty wide. I'll solo everything up here and play them all together, and you can get a sense of the panning. See how they all have their own space in the imaging. And if I find a percussion track that's playing 1/8 notes or 1/16, I usually pan that opposite of the hi-hat side, whichever that may be. Percussion could have such a wide variety of sounds, from high-end to low-end to mid-range. In this song, it's mostly high-end percussion sounds. Sometimes I tend also to add some delay to individual sounds, like on this cricket track, I added a little tight delay just to make it spread out across the stereo field. Here it is all together. Again, I can't emphasize enough how important the panning is on percussion instruments to get them to sit correct in the mix. Let's now move on to the VCA master and show you how that works on the percussion tracks. So you can see I have overall volume control of the VCA, can solo from the VCA track all the percussion, but still have the ability to control the individual volumes of each percussion instrument. Then the ability to go back and adjust the overall volume of the individual tracks. I also have the VCA aux master here with the dynamic processing on it. Remember, when you bring up the VCA master, that's bringing up the individual volumes of the percussion tracks that are being bussed or routed to the percussion aux master. So you have to really beware of the level you're sending to that aux master, because you can clip it, just like I did here when I was fooling around with the individual levels. So this is the way I go about setting up my percussion in a difficult mix with a lot of tracks, as this one is. Thanks for stopping by. Let's go on to the next video.